welcome to a weekend reading vlog. That is what this is going to be. I'm slapping the first half of the week back on the last vlog, because I did very little vlogging for the first half of the week. I just read some books and other stuff. And then we are doing the 2021 Mid-Year Reading Scramble. If you've been on my channel for the last couple of years, you know I do a reading wrap challenge at the end of every year. I come up with prompts and all of that good stuff. And so I decided that since it's mid-year, we've passed the first half of the year, and one of the questions on the mid-year book freakout tag is, what books do you still need to read this year? I figured, why not just like take this weekend, because there's like a full like 4 or 5 days off that people have because of various celebrations between US and Canada, so USANs and Canadians have some time off. I had some time off. I was like, why not just take this weekend, make it a little readathon thing. The way that Mid-Year Reading Scramble works is it's a choose your own adventure type kind of thing almost. Sort of. I'm not entirely. Basically, you start out with one book. This time around, it is start out with the book that's been on your currently reading for the longest. And then from there, once you finish that book, you get a choice between 2 different types of books that you can choose. And then once you finish one of those books, you get to make another choice. And like there's couple different layers. I went and looked at my currently reading, and actually my currently reading on Goodreads is way out of date. I need to go like update it and put a lot of those books in the DNF or back onto the want to read shelf, because I'm not going to read them right. Like I need to restart all of them. I am going to unearth one of those books that has been on my currently reading for a while, and that is Heartbeat Braves by, I want to say it's Pamela Sanderson. I am going to try and finish this book by the end of the night so that I can move on to the next book. And you can use books you're going to start. You can use books that you are currently reading. I'm also probably going to be reading Whispers of Shadow and Flame in this particular vlog, because I would like to get this finished as well, because I have books that I want to start. Oh, I'm so excited for both of them. So we'll see if I can, we'll see. I also have a very lengthy TBR that I need to film for July. I've just got a lot of stuff we need to do today. So I'm gonna go. So I'm about to sit down and start reading here in a minute, but I do need to do one thing. I've done my skincare. My skin is actually, like, it's hard to tell in this lighting, but my skin is actually really good right now. Oh, speaking of skin and good. You'll be seeing this later, but I went and I got the Magical Imperfect by Barron from the bookstore. This, I think, is a new release, and this girl right here, you can't really, I don't know if you can, hold on, let me see if I can flip it around. Okay, so you look, whoa, that's way out of focus. Let's see, can we get, okay, can you see, if you see that darker red patch on her skin, that is an eczema patch. I found out about this book and I immediately went to go get it, because this is one of my books that I'm going to be reading for middle grade magic, but I saw it and I knew I had to read it, because I'm just like, I've never had a book like this before. I was in the not the bookstore, I was pulling up to the bookstore and started getting like choked up, because like, I knew I wasn't the only kid with eczema. I knew there were other kids and other people who'd gone through it, because one of the things they tell you is you'll grow out. And I've been with allergists and pulmonologists and all kinds of stuff for the eczema and the asthma. But when you are the only person among your friends that has it, it just, I still have literally all of my insecurities go back to that. And I still berate myself for things I was told not to do as a child, which were things that were nearly impossible not to do. If you've seen my vlog, I'll link it up top. There's a vlog where I talk about how, I guess, triggering it is to have people tell me not to stop scratching. Anyways, I saw this book and I had to get it, because I want to see what it's like to have a book with a character where they're trying to actually represent the thing that has, I don't know, kind of defined my life. But before I do that, I need to fix this situation. So, can you see that? Can you see how much that's moving? There is
Do you see how, like, I don't know if you can see on that screen how just, like, absolutely broken this key is, but it is broken, and so I went online and, oh, everything is falling apart. Okay, I went online and I got a shell. The nice thing about this is the way that Honda keys work, like all the buttons and the chip that allows me to start the book car and everything, those are all in the same little, like, packet thing. This took way more effort to piece together properly than it should have. I set off my alarm like twice. I'm not happy about it.
I love how my skin was doing so great yesterday, and now it's like, hi, I am angry. Part of that is because I went jogging. Anyways, let's talk about books. Haha. I got exactly, hold on, let me tell you how many pages of reading I got. It was an unprecedented number of pages on the 2nd of July. I read a total of 48 pages in Heartbeat Braves. I'm thinking I may stop by Barnes & Noble and see if they have it, or I may search online and see if they have it in the physical form, and see if that helps me read it a little bit faster. But anyways, let's talk about what my plans for this readathon are, because I have in fact actually sat down and, you know, made some plans. So I'm going to put the graphic that I made for this over here. This is the Mid-Year Reading Scramble for 2021. First book that we need to do is we need to finish the book that's been currently reading the longest. So I'm going to finish Heartbeat Braves today, hopefully, and then I have a plan for how I want things to go, because there is a specific book that I bought yesterday that I do want to get to, and it is in fact on my TBR for the month of July. Not that I filmed it, but it is on my TBR. I am going to choose the path of read a previous TBR book. I'm going to go with The Lux by Anna Godberson. This is on my spring TBR or my Q2 TBR, I guess, because I'm just like whatever with TBRs and stuff. Long story short, I'm going to work on this. It's got nice large text. It's about 400 pages. I think I'll be able to get through this pretty quickly. It's not going to take too much of my time. It is on one of the TBRs that I did, but it was my May TBR. My May TBR, yeah? Nope, maybe not. Actually, I don't know that it is on my May TBR. I know for sure one of my Fullmetal Alchemist was on a TBR, but I just decided that it had to be a TBR that I had posted and committed to. So if we can finish that, I'm hoping that we'll be able to finish Heartbeat Braves today, start on that, and then I will move on to the Magical Imperfect by Barron. This is going to be, my choice after previous TBR book is going to be my last purchase. I purchased this yesterday. This is about a boy who has decided to be selectively mute and a girl with eczema. I think I already showed you that. And so I'm going to be reading this. This is one of my picks for the middle grade magic. Oh, and it's a book in a verse, so it's going to be beautiful and short and all of that. When I'm done with that one, I am going to, my choices between a book I'm unsure about or a summer release. I'm going to pick A Dress for the Wicked by Autumn Krause. This is also on my spring TBR for this year. This is one of the books that was, in fact, this and Lux were both books that were picked from my TBR jar. They weren't books like that are in projects and things that I'm trying to read. My goal, since we've got today, Sunday, Monday, my goal is actually only to get to the Magical Imperfect. If I can get to this and read it all on Monday, I will. If not, I might choose a different book. That is the tentative TBR for this, what's the word? Video, this vlog, this readathon. That is the tentative TBR. I obviously am also going to have audiobooks. This is my current audiobook. It is Whispers of Shadow and Flame by Elle Penelope. I am on chapter 30 or so. It's several different points of view. One of them I don't care about. Goodbye, whatever. It's funny because I care about the kids. I care about Kiara and Darvin. I don't care about Zelly. I'm enjoying this. This is much more into the world building, into the world, a little bit less about the romance. Song of Blood and Stone was 2 points of view. Well, technically 3. And I liked that. I wish this was just Kiara and Darvin, but we've got so much going on, I guess, that she's trying to set up, especially for the next book. I'm currently at almost 10,000 steps because I am, oh, you can't see that. Hold on. Can you see it now? It's 9,811. Because I'm stubborn and refuse to ask people for help, and therefore will walk around the entire store looking for what I need instead of taking 5 minutes to talk to someone. Anyways, we are here checking in. I am at page 450 on this. I have like 49 minutes, and I think that's at double time. Why would you hurt me like that? I have 49, less than an hour left in this book. Probably about a half an hour left in this book. I'm gonna continue to say I don't like it as much as the first one, but I'm still enjoying it. I still like it. Elle Penelope can't write sex scenes. I'm just gonna, it was like the most, maybe I'm just spoiled by Talia Hibbert and Jasmine Guillory. 'Cause, like, anyways, just the description in some of the romances I've read is, it's much better than what just happened in this book a couple of chapters ago, and I was just like, why? It's great. I was walking around Target while they're trying to get it on, and I'm just like, you've known each other for 3 days. It's been longer than that. They have, in fact, built an actual relationship. Anyways, I'm about to curl up. I have, can you see it? Can you see it? I have my snack and my tea. Hold on. I have my snack, which is just some kettle-cooked potato chips, and my tea. I love this tea so much. Really, just the best. So, I'm about to curl up, and I'm going to sit and read a whole bunch of this. Right now, at this moment, I may not move until this book is finished. We're getting into where they're kind of having to start working together. I'm at 43%. And she's still annoyed because he has taken over. I guess I should tell you what Heartbeat Braves is about. So it's about Rayanne and Henry. And Rayanne has worked at the cultural center for a really long time, and she's been working on this festival, and they're like, there's this whole plot where like they're trying to move into a new building and get the cultural center going. And what this cultural center is it's a lot of, like, it's partly about the Native American cultures that are in the area where the people live. Rayanne lives. I don't know where she lives. I have no idea where this book is taking place. It probably was stated at the beginning of the book. No recollection, because that was November last year. Like, I still remember the plot points. I remember what's happened up to here, but I don't remember anything. Anyways, so Rayanne has been working at this cultural center. There's a festival, like an art, like she really wants to be She wants to be showcasing Native American art and music and all kinds of stuff like that. And then you have Henry, who's just kind of floundering. He's doing the thing that I think every millennial is doing that isn't in a, like, doesn't know what they want to do with their life and isn't in a set career. He's doing that thing that we do, the thing I'm doing, and try to figure out what to do with his life. I have a feeling that a point of this book is going to be, because he's just brought up having this band, play at the cultural center. Oh, I am doing such a bad job of explaining the plot of this. Henry's uncle has gotten him a job at this cultural center, and that job is to be the board's eyes and ears, basically. Like, they know that he's there to help, and the board is putting him there. He knows what he's doing in some respects. He hasn't been doing this as well or as long as Rayanne has done it. So she's frustrated because he's been put in charge of her project, the festival. And so they're clashing over that. But one of the interesting things that just happened, or a conversation that just happened while I was eating lunch, is he brought up the idea of bringing his band, or this band, it's not his band, it's this band, in to perform, because he's like, well, they're Native American artists, they perform music, this would be the perfect place for them. You should ask them, you should book them. Because I think he's like their manager or something. And it's really funny because she's just like, no, that's not the kind of music that we want here. And then she turns around and there's like a middle school that has a native dance portion, or program. And she's like, that's exactly what we want there. And I think we're going to have this kind of conflict between, like, Rayanne wanting more traditional stuff, which, yes, absolutely should be, like, there. But also Henry being like, yeah, but, like, we also do these other things as well. Like, we're part of the modern world. So I think it's going to be kind of like this traditional idea of what it means to be Native American versus, like, the lives that Native Americans are living in the United States now. It just was interesting to kind of, like, to be able to draw the parallels between that and, like, conversations I've observed, heard, listened to friends talk about, where it's like people having to be like, no, we live in the modern world. We're not living like Native Americans lived when the Europeans came to the United States still. I think he's going to make her mad. But I do think, like, I think it's valuable to say we're going to also, like, we're going to support traditional arts. We're also going to support artists who are working in more modern Western things as well, because they're still, you know, they're still artists.
It is not a cultural center. It is the Urban Indian Center. So that's what that is. And it's basically, she what's the word? She describes it really well, actually, because she just says that they do services for Native Americans in the community. They do, like, health care programs, referrals, transportation, that kind of thing. So that's what this whole plot is centering around, is it's around this urban center. I love Sam because he is making exactly the point that I thought was going to be made, because she's like, Sam is one of Henry's friends. She's like, we're leaning more towards the traditional. And he's like, well, what is traditional? And I'm just like, bless you. I just say that as someone who thinks that, and I am coming from a very different lens. Let's just put that out there. And I think there is a certain amount of resistance in holding on to your culture when it has been stripped away from you, when so much effort has been put into getting rid or erasing the things that make you as a people. So I'm not saying that, like, I absolutely adore the fact that people, indigenous communities across the world are reviving their languages, their cultural beliefs. So but I also come from a very traditional background, from a different point of view, and I think that there is some value in also saying, you know, examining traditions and going, do these traditions match who I am now? I like the point that's being made.
Naturally, one of my books is over there. Okay, I'm back, and we have books to finish. So, endings of books have not been particularly kind to me this morning. Technically this morning. I mean, one of them was 12:30 a.m., but that's a different story. So I finished Heartbeat Braves. It was good. I'm giving it 3 stars. That ending was just, like, so abrupt. It's just, like, it ended. I liked the way that their relationship went. I liked the fact that there was no real, like, the third act breakup wasn't really it was more a situational thing. Battery died while I was in the middle of a sentence, naturally. Anyways, big problem in the relationship was, how do we make this work towards the end versus, like, oh, dramatic breakup because of a misunderstanding. I will be reading the second one soon, I think, because it just ended. Like, they introduced this huge problem at the beginning, and and then it just ends. And, like, that wasn't the main thing, because the main thing was the romance, but still, it just ends. I also finished Whispers of Shadow and Flame by Elle Penelope. I think I'm giving this 4 stars. This one also just ended and did not have a lot of resolution for, it had resolution for a lot of stuff. And a lot of the stuff that happens, like, towards the end is also, like, happening congruent to stuff that happens in the first book. So, but, like, the way it ends, this is much more like fantasy than a romance ending, and I'm just like, oh, okay, we're leaning into the fantasy part of this genre now. Okay, I get it. But it did, like, so the resolution in this one I feel was a little bit better than in Heartbeat Braves, simply because they give you a little time to process that. Like, they end the climax, the main action, and then you have a little bit of denouement. There was no denouement in Heartbeat Brave. That means I have to go grocery shopping, so I'm going to be listening to an audiobook. Since I finished that one, I get to reward myself and start Witch Shadow by Susan Dennard. I'm so excited for this book. I'm so excited. This could go either really well for me or terribly, and I just need to know, do we get any Merrick in this book? I just need to know if there is any Merrick in this book. Do Safi and Merrick get to, like, you know, be together for 5 minutes and have a moment? Or is it, if you're watching this video, which you are absolutely, completely, 100% not. Why are you doing this to me? I just want my two to be happy and together and face off terrible things together. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm gonna go do that, listen to that, because we've got to do some stuff around the house because there's a storm coming, supposedly. It will probably miss us as it usually does. And, I gotta get stuff so I can go grocery shopping tomorrow. Or, no, so I have to go grocery shopping so I can do food prep tomorrow. So I will also be starting Lux at some point today, hopefully. And, we'll just count it good if I can get through this by the end of the day. Or tomorrow. By the end of the readathon, we'll see. Okay, I know it's gonna last all of like 5 seconds because I have all of those books down there at the bottom shelf and some of them up here that need to go up there. But look at this. Look, I have got it. So my TBR, my physical unread books, physical TBR is not leaning off the edge of the bookshelf. I've done that. I've done it. All right, good morning. Hello, it is Monday, July 5th. We have some reportage to do. I have not finished any books since yesterday. I just got busy yesterday and did not do any reading. Okay, I did some reading, but like, not as much as I would have liked. I think if we can finish Lux this weekend, or this readathon, I will be happy with it. So, anyways, don't have a lot of time because it's almost 11 o'clock, and I would like to go downstairs and get some breakfast and get all of that done. I have gotten laundry started and made my bed and gone for a walk, all of that good stuff. I am 15 chapters into Witch Shadow by Susan Dennard and not realizing. Well, I did realize, and so then I checked, and I finally found where our first mention of Merrick is, and it's 46 freaking chapters from where I am right now. 45 freaking chapters from where I am right now. I'm not okay with this. I'm not happy about it. It's fine. I'm just, like, Susan sold me on a ship in book 1, and she has been feeding me crumbs. Crumbs! For books 2, 3, and 4. So book 5 had better frickin' deliver, okay? It had better just slam you with fantastic moments for my ship. It's fine. It's fine. It's like she saw what Rick Riordan did to me when he ended Son of Neptune right before Percy and Annabeth meet. It's like she saw what that did to me and said, okay, I'm gonna do it, but do it worse. She told Rick Riordan, hold my beer. And he did. And then she went and did it. And I am just, yeah! Mad at that book. Anyways, so, I am 100 pages into the Lux by Anna Godberson. I think so. My goal right now is I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to fix myself some breakfast. I'm going to open my bullet journal and like sit down and figure out what I want to accomplish today because I need to film. I need to edit a video. I need to do all kinds of things. And I only have so much time to do them in, obviously, because I need to go back to bed at like a decent, like the only reason I got as much done yesterday as I did is because I didn't have a bedtime. I don't have bedtimes when I don't have to get up early. So, anyways, this is interesting. I'm pretty sure that the main character, we open up with the main character, one of the main character's funerals. Pretty sure she faked her own death because there was no body in the coffin. They're like, we dredged the river and we haven't been able to find her body yet. And I'm just like, that's because there is no body. No body, no crime. Taylor Swift song for a reason. No, I am kidding. It's actually a comic book thing. If you don't see the body, they're probably not, actually it's just a basic storytelling thing. If you don't see the body, they are not dead. This is a historical fiction about these two sisters. It's about more than just the two sisters, but they are the main characters trying to navigate New York's high society. They are both rich, and as it turns out, their father has died and he has left a whole bunch of debts. And so now the oldest sister is kind of tasked with marrying rich to make sure that the family is still able to maintain the lifestyle that they are used to. Problem is, the younger sister, or the older sister, is in love with the stable boy, and the younger sister is a rebel, and so it's going to be interesting, because I'm pretty sure that the older sister is going to fake her own death so she can go out west with the guy she likes, and then there's a servant who also likes the guy she likes, so that's going to cause problems. I, so far, have not been able to pinpoint anything that, like, is completely out of place with $18.99, but we'll see. Hello, friends. I still am missing a book. I did the whole, like, pull the tablecloth out from underneath the table and nothing moves trick, except I did it with a book. Some reading got done. I think, let's see. Let me see, over the few days that we did this, let's see how many pages were read altogether. Maybe 1,000? Altogether, we ended up reading 662 pages, and we ended up reading for, I gotta do that math too, okay. So altogether, about 9 hours and 50 minutes of reading got done. I finished Heartbeat Brave. It's by Pamela Sanderson. This is one I've been working on since November. I just kind of forgot I was reading it and decided that we needed to clear that out. All of the other books from last year that I didn't finish are just being DNF. I ended up giving it 3 stars. Like I said, I thought the ending was super abrupt. I think we needed we needed that last chapter to kind of be spread over like maybe 2 or 3 chapters, just because a lot happens in that last chapter that we don't get the time to absorb or react to or any of that. The other book that I finished was Whisper of Shadow and Flame by Elle Penelope. This is the 2nd book in the Earthsinger Chronicles. Yeah, the Earthsinger Chronicles. I really like this. I gave it 4 stars. The fact that there was an entire point of view that I didn't really care about in this book, I didn't see why we needed it in this book. I just I think we could have done without at least that one point of view, because we have somebody who I'm sure she's going to be important later and she's introducing things later, but like right now there really isn't any way to tie it into the story. So I didn't really care, because every time we went to her, we were getting away from the 2 people that I cared about. I recommend this series. I think if you're looking for like a way to ease into fantasy, this is a very good series to start with, because the first book is much more romance than the fantasy world. Like, if you were still in a completely separate world, but the focus is the romance between these 2 people and not necessarily the politics. And then this gets more into like what you expect from a high fantasy, maybe even. So I highly recommend this series. And then I started a couple of books. I started Witch Shadow by Susan Dennard. I'm still mad about the fact that I'm gonna have to wait 45 chapters to see my other favorite character. Like, we're getting plenty of my one favorite character, but the other half of my OTP is just like going to be non-existent for the most part in this book, and I'm just mad at Susan. So I need some time to sit with it. Also, I'm trying to get caught up on YouTube and podcasts and all of that. So I will listen to this though, because I do want to like get to the end of it and get to that chapter and suffer while I wait for the 5th and final book to come out. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten to this so quickly. And then the final book that I picked up this weekend for this readathon was The Lux by Anna Godberson. I am intrigued by this book. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm on like page 150 or something. Like, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's happening. We've got this heiress who's being forced to marry into money to save her well, she's not really an heiress if she doesn't. Like, she's more of a debutante. She's like a high society, like her family is one of the creme de la creme of New York City, and she's being forced to find someone rich to marry to save her family from destitution. So I am going to continue reading this. I really enjoy it. So far, I think for the most part, it's been pretty historically accurate from what I can tell. Most of my, knowledge is from the costuming aspect of this era. That's the end of the vlog. Let me know, did you participate in the 2021 Mid-Year Reading Scramble? Would you have liked to? Have you read any of these books? That's the question of the day. That's what the question of the day is going to be. Have you read the Witchlands series, and will you come suffer with me? If you are not feeling chatty, just leave me a crying emoji in the comments, just because I know my soul is going to be hurting when I finish this book. I'm just prepared for that. Not having fun with it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, there will be other videos over here. If you enjoyed this one, you might like some of those. And if you would like to support my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you on a regular basis. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more words.